What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Altarage, entitled Succumb. This is released on Season of Mist. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they're based out of Bilbao, Basque County, Spain, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very dark, dissonant, apocalyptic hybrid of both death metal and black metal. Yeah. If I could think of any one band in today's extreme metal world that has been incredibly top-notch and incredibly consistent, it is Altarage out of Spain. This band has been on a whirlwind tear from the very get-go. From their 2015 demo to the 3 full lengths that this band has put out, they have made a very strong name and niche for themselves with their style of extreme metal. Very shrouded in secrecy. We still don't know who they are, who plays what, or who even is in this band. Their mystique just adds to this band's already extreme level of awesomeness. And of course, like I mentioned, this band has some seriously solid full-length albums, each album getting better and better as time goes along. Their debut from 2016 with Nil, their second full-length from 2017 with Indigent, and the last time we had heard something from them back in 2019 with The Approaching Roar. 3 great albums, 3 continuing bits of development for this band and their style of music. It is just very, very good stuff. But moving on into 2021, Altarage are back, and we have their 4th full-length album entitled Succumb. It's 12 tracks, and it clocks in at around 63 minutes in length. And honestly, I think this is the band's most bold, daring risk at making a full length yet. This feels like your typical sort of Altarage record, but I feel like they're going harder than ever this time. I feel like there's a sense of depth and urgency with every single song that appears on here. And I think they're definitely going for more bolder, daring risks in terms of their music, in terms of their production quality, and in terms of their overall sound. And that's why I think a band like Altarage is so strong and so consistent, because I feel like with each album they make, they become an even more incredible sort of beast. And I feel with Succumb, they are finally growing into a more monstrous sort of band. And if Succumb is just a glimpse of what Altarage has to offer now, I can only imagine what they have to offer in a few more years from now when we get their next album. Like I said, musically, this is just absolutely chaotic and very tight-knit from the get-go. From the minute you hear the opening riffs of Negative Arrival to later tracks like Manœuvre, Drainage Mechanism, Watch or Witness, just some really, really frenzied and chaotic sounding riffs. I mean, I always see this band have a bit of a Portal comparison in terms of their music and in terms of their dissonant sort of sound. And I can understand where they're coming from with that sort of comparison. But Altarage form a sound all of their own, and I think it works out incredibly well here. It is very dizzying. It is very terrifying to listen to these riffs sound so loud, so buzzing, so dissonant, and so cacophonous throughout every single track that's on here. It is just something that just makes you want to have goosebumps every single time you listen to it, especially when you get towards the second and more devastating half of this album. I mean, this music is just beyond compare here. I think it sounds great, the riffs are good, the bass tone is very well executed, the production and mixing work out very well to this band's advantage, and it is just an insane listen all the way throughout. The drumming on here is very, very well done, fast-paced and relentless all the way throughout. I mean, I gotta mention the very last track on here, Devorado de Mundos, which I'm pretty sure means Devourer of Worlds. That's the longest song on here, and it takes up about a good 20% of this record. It's like a 21-minute long track, 21 minutes and 12 seconds to be specific. Yeah, I feel like with this song, they're trudging into more doomy death sort of territory, almost repetitious with the same chords and riffs being repeated multiple times, and the drum patterns beginning to fade in and fade out just a little bit. Some serious stamina going on that closing track, but as far as the rest of the songs are concerned with the drummer, it is just some really, really fantastic drum work. The blasts, the fills, just it has a very clean and contemporary sort of delivery to it, but it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel overly polished. It feels just right, and I love what this drummer is doing for the sound on Succumb's drum performance. And when it comes to the vocals, it's the typical sort of Altarage vocal style, very depraved, very manic, very primal in nature, very guttural, very well delivered. You can definitely feel and understand what's being said and delivered here. Of course, the music and production value of this album is a little bit on the loud and boisterous side, so you can kind of forgive that a little bit if you can't happen to hear what's being said. But once you do hear what's being said, it definitely does make that much of a difference with how crazy and over the top this vocal performance is, and I definitely appreciate that aspect of Altarage's sound. It only adds to the level of fear and chaos as this album just continuously surrounds you with how crazy and how loud everything is, and that's what makes this vocal performance so well. So overall, this is another fantastic album in Altarage's discography, and I like the fact that they decided to take a big, huge risk with this album length, the different sorts of sounds being delivered. I don't know if I can say that this is their best album. It might be their best work to date. I don't know. Altarage always have consistently great albums, so it's kind of hard to figure out which one is better than the other. But Succumb is fantastic. Altarage are one of the best bands in today's extreme metal landscape, and I'm very excited for what the future holds for them. So, if I had to think of any personal favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Negative Arrival, Magno Evento is another really great track, Drainage Mechanism, Lavath, Vor Concession is another really great track, and of course the 21-minute long track, Devorador de Mundos, absolutely wild and crazy shit. So what I'm going to do is leave you a link in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the Altarage Bandcamp page where you can listen to this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can stream it, buy it digitally, and I believe it is available physically as a CD and 12-inch vinyl. I'm pretty sure this is a double LP, single LP. I don't know if they put the whole big 21-minute track on the LP or not, but it needs to be heard to be believed. So, again, the album is Succumb by Altarage. This is released on Season of Mist. Definitely check this one out. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very strong 9 out of 10. Definitely one of the best things I've heard Altarage do, and more of a continuation of their consistency as a band. So, if you happen to have heard this album, definitely let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it, how you think it compares to previous Altarage releases, or any of you guys into Altarage. Definitely let me know. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until next time, Army Ho out.